Good afternoon. I'm Specialist Gibson, and today we're going to be doing a class over leader attributes and what it takes to be a leader. Reference is ADRP 6-22, and that covers Army leadership. So what are some attributes to a leader to you?
Somebody that commands the respect of the subordinates and has their full confidence in the sport going forward.
Anything else that you can think of outside of the motor pool, the uniform, anything?
Sets a good example for his subordinates and peers.
Cool. All right, so there's a lot to it. ADRP 6-22 goes into depth upon what makes a leader in their vision, but also every person has their own opinion upon a leader, upon what they have come up with throughout the ranks, or what they have learned from a certain individual, maybe even in the same rank or lower. It just doesn't matter who that is, as long as they've shown leadership characteristics or things that have motivated them or shown discipline, or even just being there on time or being for you outside of the uniform. So these are different attributes, and they all describe a different section of what it takes to be a leader. For the first one, character, they know the Army values, empathy, warrior ethos / service, and discipline, presence, military and professional bearing, fitness, confidence, resilience, intellect, mental agility, sound judgment, innovation, interpersonal tact, enterprise, leads, they lead others, builds trust, extends influence beyond the chain of command, leads by example, communicates well, develops, creates a positive environment, fosters esprit de corps, prepares self, develops others, stewards the profession, and achieves, they get results. So all of these is what the Army describes as what it takes to be a leader, what the leader attributes display. I'm sure all of us can look at somebody and pinpoint exact examples of what their leader is based on just these. I know for me, confidence, fitness, and discipline is something that's very strong as a leader to me. If you withhold those three, then instantly you're a leader in my eyes. That's just in the uniform, you know? So these are just something to keep in mind to build yourself when you become a leader. So there's two different types of leaders in the Army. There's informal and formal. And formal leaders are the ones who are there, always following regulations, always checking on you, making sure that the work's getting done that's coming out on the push load. Ones who know everything for field training, the ones who are instantly doing inspections on Monday, and the ones who are just there in the uniform to track what their formation or their squad or their team or even their battle buddy is in line with, you know, trying to make sure that the standards are being upheld. That's a leader to me for a formal leader. Also, the Army regulates that in 6-22, ADRP 6-22, a formal leader is someone who goes based off of rank, mission, and knowledge. So they're always doing the right thing and getting their troops squared away. An informal leader is somebody who's going to be there for you outside of uniform. Someone, if you're going through troubles in life, you call them in the middle of the night, they're going to come over and assess the situation or be there for your assistance or your aid, your help, whatever is need be. It's someone who gives you advice about maybe your marriage or how to become a better troop, or someone who works with you at the gym if you're on the ABC program. Anything. It could be anything, really. Someone who lends you money when you're down and out. Someone who watches your dog. Someone who picks your kids up from school, picks your kids up from daycare. Someone who has any influence on you outside of the uniform. You know, that's like a informal leader. And it takes a lot of that too. You can't just be one or the other. You have to be both to be a leader in the Army. So motivation, that hits it right on the head to be a leader. You can't have a leader that's not motivated at all. It's crazy, because if you show up to formation and you don't have that spunk, that extra kick in your step because your squad leader, platoon sergeant, or anyone doesn't do that, isn't motivating you to be hoof or PT, then how are you supposed to be that? How are you supposed to influence others around you if you're not motivated, So motivation, going to work, going the extra mile, getting everything done so that everybody can go home for the day, being motivated, just staying positive, because no one wants to work around people who are not positive mindset, Being motivated is the big factor for a leader. You can't have someone who just comes to work with rain clouds over their head or just down and out kicking rocks in the motor pool. You gotta have someone who's ready to go, who'll joke with you kind of in a professional manner, but get you to do what you need to do to develop as a soldier. You just need that extra push from somebody who's going to inspire you motivationally. Big factor is PT. PT, you need it to get through the rough, to embrace the suck, what they say. So motivation is a big factor for being a leader. You need that. The second one is discipline. So discipline is a huge, huge thing for upholding the standard and following regulations and doing the right thing, being good people. You can't show up to formation and you don't have a shaving profile and you just said, screw it, I'm not going to shave. That's not how the Army works. Your leader is instantly going to come up to you, ask you, can I see your profile? You don't have one, you're going to probably have to push, or you're going to get a 4856. It's just discipline. They're going to have to get you squared away. Your uniform ain't right. You ain't doing the right thing in the motor pool. They hear you talking crazy, EO, sharp situations. They're going to withhold the standard. They're going to do what they need to do to correct the situation, on-spot corrections or with a counseling. Also, not even that, just if you're in the field or even if you're downrange, sound and light discipline, you have to take that into mind. Your leader has to contribute that to the squad and let them know, y'all can't be out here wilding out, yelling, having white lights on, or even red lights at certain occasions, throwing trash on the ground in the field to let the enemy know that you're there. Your motivator, your leader, who is disciplined, is always going to uphold that, because they're not trying to get anyone else in a situation where they're not going to make it home. Discipline's a huge factor. Also, discipline, making sure that their people aren't getting in trouble outside of work. You got to know the right from wrong, and hopefully that your leader, with their attributes of discipline, is going to teach you that. So, summary, pretty much we just talked about leader attributes. We went over a couple things that were big to me, and I also showed you from ADRP 6-22 what they display as leader attributes. And hopefully y'all can take it into consideration of what to do to help yourself develop upon those factors. Is there any questions or comments you have? No one has questions? You sure you can't think of anything? Anything, what makes a leader to you? Anybody who's inspired you or anything you've seen from the list?
Has anybody inspired you recently to want to be a better leader?
My old Sergeant Major, he was a huge factor and he taught me everything, all these. He was a huge leader to me. He had all the attributes, every single one of them. He was there for you outside of the formation. He did everything that he needed to try to get his future NCOs or NCOs below him, warrant officers, it didn't matter what rank they were. He was always doing the most in a positive way to impact his formations, to let them know that he is a leader, but he loves to bring up leaders as well and develops. And that's another thing for leader attribute, is developing, as you've seen in the slide. Any other questions? Who inspires you? Who's the most